the Star Wars Retro Collection. This is definitely one of my favorite lines from Hasbro. I kind of got into vintage collection, but I haven't stuck with vintage collection. Retro collection, I still really do eye pieces from that because it's just so cool. And it's definitely taken a step in the right direction. At first I was like, I already have these things. Kenner made them. Why should I buy reprints of them, remakes, when I could just go out and buy the original thing? And they weren't even really oddball items like yak faces at first. Of course, I would still rather have an original yak face, but then again, come about 2 years ago, they started making steps in the right direction, and they were kind of doing that right from the get-go with the Tarkin. But man, that this last box set has been a real gem. Dr. Evzan, man, that figure is just great. Yavin Luke, again, and as you'll see later in the video, the Yavin trend is going to continue. Stormtrooper Han, you couldn't have picked a better figure. And a Sand Trooper, again, not too bad of a figure. Let's just get it over with. Walrus Man, didn't really need him, but okay, whatever. And the Rebel Fleet Trooper, I would, I why they made it a box set and just because the Sand Trooper and Rebel Fleet Trooper, those are both army builders. So Hasbro kind of did miss out on army building opportunity there. Okay, so let's move on to this new box set that we are going to be getting. And it's the only retro collection box set. Continuing with that Yavin trend, we got Yavin Leia. So, because this is the only box set, come 2027, I would almost bet on this, that in the retro collection set of 6 figures, we're going to be getting a Yavin Han Solo. Now, 2027, it's not just another ordinary year for Star Wars fans, it's the 50th anniversary. Unfortunately, I have not been here since the beginning, and, well, I'll be 15 for the anniversary. So, over the past 15 years, I've seen Star Wars 40th anniversary. Did I care for it? Not really. I didn't really get into Star Wars until just about right before the global pandemic. Of course, you know the one I'm talking about. We've all lived through that. Okay. So, that is a big one. 50 years of something. It's a milestone. Half a century of Star Wars. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro gave us a ship or a playset. Even if it was just a remake of the Falcon or X-Wing. Of course, they're not going to do the Falcon. Of course, the Falcon's going to cost probably $500 if they did release it. So I really would doubt if they did the Falcon, but an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter would be kind of nice. But the ship we are all hoping for, the one Star Wars fans feel have been left out, is the Tantive IV. Of course, the Blockade Runner, the Tantive IV, whatever you call it, the proper name is the Tantive IV. That ship, Kenner had plans to release it, they never did. It was a key ship. It was the first ship you saw in that galaxy far, far away. So it was a huge missed opportunity by Kenner. Why Hasbro has not released it yet, that's an even bigger question. Of course, if they're not going to do Star Destroyer, they're not going to do the Death Star. But a Tantive IV, it would probably sell for $200 retail value. But you never know. Hasbro can always just surprise us. I'm just speculating here. I would definitely pick that up if they did that. And of course, it is shaping up that way with the Rebel Fleet Trooper, and in this box set you have Captain Antilles. Now, Captain Antilles was also famously choked out by Darth Vader on the Tantive IV. Okay, in the retro collection, you have also got multiple Darth Vaders from the Kenobi line and the original Star Wars line. So that's 3 figures from the Tantive IV. And if 3 wasn't enough, you got that little green droid from the Tantive IV. That was also rolled by the camera. You also have R2, 3PO. They were both on the Tantive IV. So it kind of really is shaping up like we are going to get a Tantive IV or a Blockade Runner, whatever Hasbro calls it. Now, 50 years, it is something to celebrate, and I know that I will be celebrating it. However, the other possibility is Yavin, because the Rebel Fleet troopers were also on Yavin. Captain Antilles, well, he got choked out, but there were people wearing his uniform on Yavin. We've got Yavin Luke, Yavin Leia, and, well, Han Solo. Now, you'll notice that in this picture, Leia is holding a medal. So whether that medal is for Han, or it's just an extra medal, because as we all know, Chewie never got a medal. So maybe Leia's trying to make that right after the movie ends. So that's another possibility, a Yavin base. So that's 2 possibilities. However, another very likely possibility, because Hasbro's Star Wars campaign is Return to Tatooine. So they've given us the Landspeeder, the Mos Eisley Cantina. I wouldn't be surprised if that also did carry over into the retro collection, because we've got the little clown droid, we've got the spy, we've got multiple Chewie's, Hans in the retro collection, 3PO, R2, Luke, Obi-Wan, and in the past set, we just got a Sand Trooper. So that's the third possibility. 3 great possibilities, 2 play sets, maybe 1 vehicle. We're not going to get them all. We're just not going to get them all. But those are 3 very leading possibilities. I would definitely like to see at least one of those 3, though. Do you agree with this? This has just been kind of me ranting about what I'm dreaming of, the new stuff that's coming out. But that's really all I have for you guys today. So guys, as always, thank you all for watching today's video. As always, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we will talk again soon.